Hey everybody, it's Christina Holloway here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about dealing with conflict at work, but specifically how women leaders can resolve conflict. Now, I'm going to look at this framework. It's common, it's effective, and it's simple. So I'm going to share insights into where it works and where it doesn't, especially for women. Also, this year I'm sharing 12 leadership metrics that will help you succeed in your career. This is pretty much a full framework for how to develop your skills to build your career. This month we're talking about managing conflict at work. You can catch up on all of the videos in the playlist on my YouTube channel. Everything is linked below in the description. Please make sure to check it out. Real quick, if you enjoy this content and want to learn more about how to make power moves in your career, make sure to follow my channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video from me. All right, so let's get started. Number one, identify the root cause. Essentially, women and men communicate differently. We all know that. Men are more likely to share information directly, get it off their chest, and women are more likely to consider the information before responding. It's a processing form of communication. You are welcome to argue with me. That's what the comment section is for, but I'm going to keep going. For women to identify the root cause of conflict or an argument, they need to understand the source of the problem. For women, that means two things. One, is this a difference of opinion? And two, is there anger involved? This is important. It's going to determine the degree to which you respond. Here's the thing. For women, workplace conflict is constant. It is always happening. Every day there is conflict, and it's subtle, but it's there. The second guessing, the disagreement, the interruptions, the dismissiveness, the asking someone else even though you're the expert. That's not even all of it, but it's a lot, and it's there every single day. There are microaggressions, but they're real. And it comes down to understanding, is this a difference of opinion because the other person just wants to engage with you? Or is this coming from anger, something you did or said that unknowingly set off the other person? Now, men go through this too, but they hash it out differently. And that's why I'm going to talk about strategies for dealing with conflict more effectively for women. And you've now identified the root cause of the conflict. Number two, create a safe space for you. In general, creating a safe space is about creating an environment where employees feel comfortable expressing their concerns. Hey, that's terrific. If you're mediating conflict between individuals, if you're on the receiving end of conflict and disagreement, however, the safe space is for you to collect your thoughts. Here's why this is important. Women absorb information and process it. There have been many times that I've been coaching women. This happens to me too, where we're so busy taking in the information and trying to sort it that we lose sight of what's real or true or relevant. We start managing the situation instead of dealing with what's happening. In order to create a safe space for yourself, you need to create statements that you can use to protect yourself during a disagreement until you can regain your focus. You can say things like, I'm going to need to drop off this call and circle back later. Let's jump on a call in 30 minutes so I can focus on what you've said. Or I'm going to end this call and reconnect with you once you've calmed down. Because it's really hard to stay composed once you realize you or your work or your approach is under attack and it feels like it came out of nowhere. Again. Number three, facilitate open dialogue. It's possible to do this, but let's look at the most common form of conflict that women face in the workplace, the group call, where someone else interrupts you mid-sentence or puts down your contributions as elementary or naive. How are you going to facilitate open dialogue with a person who undermines you in front of other people, important people, people who matter to you? Summon up all of your courage and tell them, please let me finish. Then tell them, if you'd like to talk offline, I'm happy to get on a call with you later. That's called detour and park. You sideline them right off their soapbox and you park them somewhere that's not visible or distracting. And if you can't do it in a meeting, that's fine. Just a few years ago, I was dealing with someone who constantly wanted to explain to me and others what I meant to say. And I was so caught off guard that I didn't respond the first time it happened. And the second time it happened, I said something. And it wasn't a polite, fluffy response. I called him out and I told him to stop it. This part about having dialogue is really about managing other people so that they don't interfere with your career. This is about how you see your authority and also how you see your security. But if people are constantly challenging your authority, find ways to flex so that they know who they're dealing with. This isn't about you fighting fire with fire either. It's about you holding your integrity and professionalism while you ask the others around you to show up where you need them and not the other way around. Number 4, seek solutions together. So, once you hold your boundary, then you manage how you're going to find solutions together. This is important because the conflict that happens to you is related to how others perceive your presence. If they feel like challenging you constantly, it's up to you to ensure they understand that this approach is not going to help the situation. That means you get to call the side meeting. You get to explain why their behavior was disruptive and unhelpful. You get to share an approach that's going to be more helpful going forward, meaning stop interrupting me and arguing in front of others because it makes you look bad, not me. Do this with everyone around you. Your subordinates who don't take you seriously, your colleagues who think they know more because they've been there 6 months longer. Your executive team and stakeholders who push you because they think they're making you stronger. Explain to all of them that when dealing with you, the best approach is going to be one of collaboration and mutual respect. If they aren't capable of that, then you definitely know who you're dealing with. And at least at this point, you will know, and you can take action, like transfer or even leave. And if you find out someone doesn't like you, just don't make it your mission to get them to like you. You have no idea why someone behaves the way they do. I found out one time that someone didn't like me. This is true because I had the same birthday as someone they had problems with. Well, first, that was incredibly stupid. And second, I can't change that. That's just their problem. Know what you're up against and accept it. Number 5, follow up. If you've made it this far, you've identified the problem, you've set boundaries, you've created a space to have a conversation, and you've succeeded in getting your point across. Then you're now ready for a follow-up. Make sure you follow up during these 2 circumstances. 1, when you've succeeded, and 2, when you failed. Follow up either way. If you've been successful in helping someone understand that the conflict they were creating was unnecessary and you're both on the same team, you're not a threat to their career, you both have great ideas and there's plenty of room for you both, then follow up and strengthen that win. It takes nurturing to build strong roots. If you're still struggling with someone who is creating unnecessary conflict for you, start over again. Follow up and keep reiterating the same framework. That's the thing about people who have lax boundaries. They will keep trying to break through yours until they realize that your boundaries are too strong. Once they get the idea that you cannot be broken, they will also avoid dealing with you around other people. Why? Because you've now become an advocate, calling them out whenever you see their bad behavior. Honestly, it takes some effort here, but many times the turnaround happens quickly. You teach people how to treat you. And yes, it's a pretty big burden to know that you have to do this every day, but it does get easier, and with the right tools and statements, you will be able to handle conflict as it comes without it derailing your day or week or entire career. All right, so that's it for my video on how women can resolve conflict in the workplace. If you have examples of how you handled conflict at work that was directed at you specifically, feel free to share them in the comments below. I would love to hear about them. And if you enjoyed watching this video and you found it helpful, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up by hitting that like button, and make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you never miss another video from me. And if you'd like to learn more about how to lead effectively, make sure to check out my video on how to manage your peers after a promotion. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.